then there's another characteristic which is not found in the third angel's message, but it is found in Revelation 12:17, which is a parallel verse, and it's also found in Revelation 19, verse 10. The remnant of God also have the testimony of Jesus Christ. And we notice that the testimony of Jesus Christ is the gift of prophecy. In other words, God's remnant people will have a prophetic voice in their midst, not to add to the Bible, but a prophet that will enlighten, amplify, explain, correct those who go astray from Bible truth. The remnant will have the testimony of Jesus, which is the spirit of prophecy. So God's people will have definite characteristics. If you want to find the true church, you have to find a church that teaches that we're supposed to fear God to the point of keeping His commandments. A church that teaches that we're supposed to be careful with what we put in our bodies and what we put in our minds. A church that teaches that we need to reflect the glorious character of God. In other words, it's not enough to just believe what Jesus did. We need to reveal His character. We need to have a sanctified life. Not justified, but also sanctified. It has to be a people that believe we're in the hour of God's judgment. It has to be a people who believe that the dead are dead until the resurrection. It has to be a people that proclaim that Babylon is fallen, and they teach contrary to the wine of Babylon. It has to be a people who teach that we're supposed to keep God's commandments. A people who have faith in Jesus. A people who have the patience of the saints. A people who have the prophetic voice in their midst. I'll tell you, there's not very many options out there if you're looking for a church that has all of these characteristics. Now you say, Pastor, why does the message of Babylon appeal to so many people? Because we must admit that most people are not on God's side. Most people are on the devil's side. What is it that appeals to Babylon that would lead most people to embrace the teachings and the practices of Babylon? Remember, the third angel's message has a balance between having faith in Jesus and keeping the commandments of God. Listen, folks, it's dangerous to go to either extreme without the other. If you teach that you have to keep the commandments of God, but don't have faith in Jesus, you're a legalist. But if you teach, I've got faith in Jesus, I don't have to keep the commandments, then you believe that you can be saved in your sins. So you have to have both. Do you know what really appeals in people's minds? What really appeals is the idea that they can be saved by their works, or they can be saved in their sins. That's the genius of Babylon. The Apostle Paul described this as people who will have a form of godliness, but they will not have the power of godliness in their lives. In other words, people who go to church, people who go through all of the forms of religion, it looks like they're very religious, but they're lacking the power that transforms and changes the life. Are you catching the picture? This is exactly contrary to the third angel's message. Third angel's message says you have faith in Jesus and you keep His commandments. This system says all you need is to profess faith in Jesus, or you don't have to keep the commandments, or keep the commandments, but you don't have to have faith in Jesus. In other words, it's a system that appeals to the desires and to the wants of most everybody in the world, because people would love to have their cake and eat it too. And that's exactly what this is talking about.